everyone, and welcome. I'm Sara Lihz, and today I have a fun flowery card project for you today. I am using the Stitched Scallop Slimline dies from Pixi Dust Designs, and I have cut the largest one out of some shimmery cardstock. And then I have this Dream Big die set, and really, this is the bulk of what we're using on this card. This thing is jam-packed, full of flowers and the watering can and layering butterflies. I can't get over how much is in here. That scallop piece is a standard slimline size, and I wanted a little bit of a border around it. So I actually cut this to 8 3/4 by 3 3/4. I'm going to begin by assembling the watering can, and I am showing you all of the pieces even though I went tone on tone for most of this. So there's a separate piece for the spout and the handle. I'm going to show you a bonus card at the end that one of my design team members made that uses different colors on the watering can and is also maybe the coolest thing I have seen in card making in a really, really long time. I can't wait to show it to you. Okay, so I cut the top of the watering can, the piece on the bottom, and then the little spout where the water comes out of some matte silver cardstock, and I am just layering those on as well. These come together really, really easily. Sandra, who designs them, does a phenomenal job of making sure that everything is super user-friendly. And even if you aren't big into layering dies, you can do this quickly, okay? So here's my watering can, and I love how you get just that little bit of extra dimension, even if you're going tone on tone. Next, I'm gonna add in this little ferny, grassy piece in here. It's so brilliant. It fits perfectly. Like, I don't have to figure out where the leaves go. It just like sets right into the watering can. And then there are 2 daisies and a tulip that come in this set. This daisy is my favorite, I think, of the 3 because it's sort of like floppy looking. I don't know. You get this side view instead of straight on that I think is so, so cute. I was just pointing out where I aligned the center top of my flower to the backer piece and that the petals go kind of every other, right? It's super quick and easy to put together. And then this has 2 layers as well. And it's not exactly symmetrical, right? It's not like every petal is exactly the same distance, which I like. I think it looks a little more natural this way. So I did spin it slightly just to find where I thought it looked good. To put the tulip together, there are 2 petals that layer on top of that back piece, but at the top and along the sides, they align perfectly. So there's no guessing or fiddling in there as well. So I'm going to add my watering can straight onto my card, and I'm just going to build my flowers up on the card base. That way I'm not trying to like move everything later on, and I can adhere those flowers straight onto the card. So I'm going to put that kind of towards the bottom. You know, I thought about, there's another slimline set that is called the Clouds and Grass Slimline. I thought about bringing that one in, and let me know if you think I should have. You can add like a slimline strip of grass to the bottom of this and maybe some glitter clouds to the top. I don't know. I didn't want to do too much. I think these florals are so, so stunning. So anyway, I was playing around to kind of figure out like, where do I want these to go? I use 100 to 110 pound colored cardstock all the time. And so I am adding some thin foam squares. These are 1mm foam squares, not necessarily to lift them, but just to even out the layering and make sure that things aren't super wonky and I have a flower that's sort of leaning sideways when it shouldn't be. I hope that makes sense. I'm adding a little bit of glue to all of the pieces, even the sticky foam squares, so that like the petals that are overlapping the tulip are already lifted, but then the foam is evening everything out. I want to make sure that I'm not ending up with foam squares on top of the tulip. That way I can wiggle if I need to. It also lets me play around with the arrangement just a little bit to make sure everything ends up in place. I will add this final daisy onto my arrangement as well. If you look on the back of the packaging, they had them arranged slightly differently. I like that about it too. I don't want to be tied into like you have to do it this one way or it's not going to look right. So there's a lot of versatility in there. And again, the card at the end is going to use all those dies in really, really awesome ways. Okay, now we have 3 layering butterflies. This first one, I love it. It's like the butterfly is leaning down into the flowers and it's just 3 pieces. It goes on really, really easily. And then this next butterfly has the most pieces. So on the light peach, there are debossed indentations where each of these smaller pieces is supposed to line up. So it's really, really easy to figure out how to assemble this. I probably should have pulled in my tweezers. It would have made it just a little bit easier. As it is, it's not hard, but I'm getting glue on my hands and that slowed me down just a little bit. Then there's this one piece. I like that you get the detail for what is the back wing as well. Like sometimes I don't feel like we get that. And this is just, you guys, I can't get over it. If you're kind of new to layering dies or you like the look of them, but you don't like that they're kind of labor intensive, this is a really great set for you because so many of these pieces come together really, really quickly. This butterfly here took the longest of any of them. And it was, I don't know, 45 seconds, a minute. It doesn't take much at all. This one, when I glue down the wings, I am just going to glue the center so I can kind of zhuzh the wings a little bit. If I hadn't already put it together, I might have gone in with my shimmer pen just on the lighter pieces of the butterflies, right? Give a little shimmer to the background of the wing and then let those accent pieces not have the shimmer. But the card was done by the time I thought of that. And I was like, you know what? It's okay. Next time I'm going to add a little shimmer to those wings. So I'm adding the first butterfly kind of leaning into the flowers on the watering can. And then the second one, I'm making sure as I'm adding the other 2 that they're sort of swooping around this Dream Big. The Dream Big is included in the die set. So I have just kind of set them on there for placement. I have not glued anything down yet. And then here I finally remembered to get my tweezers out. You guys, some days I don't even know how I can find my glue bottle, but I seem to manage. All right, I'm floofing the wings. And then here, it's so dainty. This Dream Big is so, so, so dainty. And because I'm extra, I stacked them up. So it's 100-pound cardstock and I have 2 layers of that Dream Big. But I edited it out of the video because I was like, Sarah, that's a bit much. You didn't need to go overboard like that, but you certainly can. I don't regret it, but I don't know that I would do it again. So I'm adding just tiny little dots of glue. And because this is such a thin scripty font, I'm tapping it off on the back of my hand so that the glue isn't going to ooze out from underneath. It does dry clear, but I'm picky. And if I pick it up and look real close, I can tell. The only person in the world I can tell. And so it's an option. Because I wanted some sparkle and forgot to try the shimmer pen, I have added a boatload of just some iridescent gems all over this card. I've just added some teeny tiny ones and then like 1 step up from the teeny tiny ones. And that will finish off this card for today. This was super quick and easy, but I cannot wait to show you this other card from our design team. This is from Melissa, who does absolutely incredible work. She took that watering can, and then this is our mug add-on, where she turned it into a box to give herself room to create this absolute explosion of florals. Most of what's in there are the daisies and the tulip from the original die set. But then there's also a larger tulip in the background that is a standalone die that can be purchased separately. And this absolutely stunning lily as well. I cannot get over what she has done. I'm linking to all of her social media. She's an absolutely incredible card designer. Please, please check her out. If you like this card project, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thank you for spending this time with me. and I will see you next time.